Okay, I think I've got a real treat for you today, because if you're like me and you've always thought that Jimi Hendrix's Red House is kind of the epitome of great blues guitar playing, but maybe out of reach for mere mortal guitar players, today I'm going to be showing you 5 licks that I think anyone can play. Certainly the first 2, definitely beginners can play, and then the other 3, they'll get a little bit progressively harder, but I still think they're in reach for high beginners to intermediate players. So what I'm going to be doing here is playing them over a Red House backing track. You'll note between the first and second licks I take a little break and just show a little rhythm. That's because at that point in all 3 verses, Jimi plays fairly fast, hard, complicated licks that are a little bit beyond what we're going to be doing today. And I just wanted to show you a manageable number of 5 that you could easily pick up, add to your arsenal, play them over any 12-bar blues song, not just Red House, in any key. So that's what I'm going to be breaking down for you after I do the demonstration here. There's a red house over yonder. That's where my baby stays. Oh, there's a red house over yonder. Oh, that's where my baby stays. Before we break this down, I want to give you just a quick note on the tuning. If you're playing along with a backing track or the Hendrix original and you don't want to tune down a half step like Jimi did, play here at the 6th fret, which would be essentially B flat. That's what I did in the demo. For the purposes of teaching you these licks, I'm going to play them at the 7th fret, which is where Jimi was playing, again tuned down a half step. So we're in B. That first lick, if you haven't seen my series of 3 short Jimi Hendrix licks videos, click on the link at the end of this one. I show you part of this lick and many other cool ones in that short series. But basically he's over the 1 and he plays this in the first verse. He bars the 1st and 2nd string there at the 7th fret, hammers on the 9th fret 2nd string, so again, why does he play this? The song is going from the 1 to the 4 at this point, so over the 1 he's playing part of a 1 chord, the B chord, hammer on another B note, 4th string, 9th fret, and landing on an E note, because again the chord progression is going to an E at that point. It's going from the 1 to the 4. In the little demo, I played it as an E9. If you don't know your 9th chord shapes, you need to learn those for playing blues guitar. That would be the 5 chord, an F sharp 9, the 4 chord, an E9. Now Jimi, because he was in B here, and his 4 note was therefore an E, he could play it as a booming open E string, and that is in fact what he does in the first verse. And then I think it's in the 2nd verse where he goes, where he plays it at the 2nd fret, 4th string, slides all the way off to that E note. So you've got E note, E note, E note. Doesn't matter where you play it, but I showed it to you here because if you're moving around, you're playing it in the key of G. Obviously, your open E string is not your 4 note. All right, so again, that's lick number 1. Okay, lick number 2 is over the 4 chord, which again is going to be some kind of E variant. E9, E7, right? Picture your C7 chord from the open position. D7, E7 at the 5th fret. What is Jimmy doing? He goes from 9 to 11, sliding on the 5th string, then skip a string, pick up your 3rd string, 9th fret, and slide off from 9 to 7. So again, slide 9, 11 on 5, slide 9, 7 on 3. Listen to this. Hope you can hear that. He's playing an E7 arpeggio over an E7 chord. It makes sense. He's outlining an E7 arpeggio. So you're in a blues jam, you're playing, and you're over the 4 chord. You can play that lick in any blues song. You can see where John Fogerty was influenced by the blues in Born on the Bayou there. Okay, that was lick number 2, over the 4 chord. He plays that twice, I believe, in the 1st verse and the 3rd verse. The next lick is heading to the 5 chord, so it's basically from the 1 to the 5, and he just plays some B minor pentatonic licks. 4th string, hammer on from 7 to 9, pull off, so again, we're just walking up and down a B minor pentatonic scale with the blue note, that passing note at the 8th fret, 5th string thrown in. So again, the pull off, the hammer on pull off is 10, 7, 8, 9, 9, 7, 9, 8, 7, 10. And he might pick up that B note on that way down. So your B minor pentatonic scale, the blue note added, the passing note. You should know that passing note, that blue note. 4th string, root note, 9th fret. Going to the 5, from the 1 to the 5. It's a little fast, but I think you can do it. It's not that complicated. Okay, the next lick is going from the 5 to the 4. And if we played them as 9th chords, you can see exactly where this lick comes out of. You're going to be picking up the 3rd and 1st strings there at the 9th fret. I like to play them like this. You could bar it, I guess, but you'd pick up that 2nd string, and you don't really want to, so it's better to play it like this and kind of lay your middle finger over onto the 2nd string to mute it. You really need to be playing with some volume like Jimmy was to have it ring out, because you're just hitting the strings once on the 9th fret, then sliding to 11, and then back and forth from 9 to 7. If you pick it, rings out a little bit stronger. So again, you got part of a F sharp 9, you got part of an E9 up here at the 11th fret. What you have is part of your B7, right? Your D7 shape up here at the 11th fret. From the intro. Okay, the last lick is super cool. Starts at the 7th fret, 3rd string with a kind of slurry minor 3rd. Wiggling it to give you that tension that I always talk about between the minor 3rd and the major 3rd, which is so key to blues. So you kind of give that a little wiggle and then hammer on it. second string, 7 to 9, kind of like we did in the first lick without picking up the first string. Come back, play that 7th fret, 3rd string, then slide down and do 4 to 6. Pull on, hammer on, pull off, just like we did here, but here. And that's 2 notes out of the B major. Major pentatonic. So it's, again, he's mixing in major and minor pentatonic. That's minor pentatonic, but wiggling towards major. That's major, and then is a major, B major arpeggio, right? It's a really cool the way he kind of cuts it off. He just really, and then the last part is a classic turnaround. You're sliding into the major 3rd at the 8th fret, 3rd string, picking up that F sharp note, which is the 5 at the 2nd string, 7th fret, and another F sharp note, 9th fret, 5th string, right? Again, if you have trouble finding these notes, think of your C chord at the 1st position. You got the root on the 2nd string and the 5th string, your C notes, C, D, E, F sharp. Okay? So why does he play 2 F sharp notes? Because he's over the 5, which is an F sharp. So that last lick, the whole thing. Boy, is that sweet. Okay, so that's an essential grab bag of Jimi Hendrix blues licks that you can play in any key. Any 12-bar blues. Let's say you were in A for that last lick. Let's say we wanted to play the first lick in a D blues. You get the idea? Move them around, play with them, play along to the original, learn more of them. This is just 5 of many. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.